The street outside the Grand Meridian Hotel was alive with the usual midday buzz, taxis honking, tourists chatting, bellboys hauling luggage, when a sudden, piercing scream cut through the noise. "Let me go! Please!" The sound tore through the air like a siren. Heads turned, but most froze, uncertain. Only one man moved without hesitation. Adam Kellen, a 38-year-old single dad, still in his work uniform from a local construction site, dropped his coffee and sprinted toward the sound. His heart pounded as his boots slapped against the pavement. Ahead, a man in a black jacket was dragging a little girl toward a parked van. Her pink backpack was slipping off her shoulder, her small hands flailing in panic. "Let her go!" Adam shouted, his voice echoing across the street. The kidnapper turned, startled, but didn't stop. Adam's adrenaline surged. Without thinking, he lunged forward, tackling the man to the ground as the girl stumbled free. A struggle followed, fists, shouts, chaos, until a few bystanders finally snapped out of their shock and joined in, pulling the man away. Within minutes, security guards rushed out from the hotel lobby, pinning the kidnapper until the police arrived. As the sirens grew louder, Adam turned toward the trembling girl. She couldn't have been more than 7. Her wide hazel eyes met his, tears streaking down her cheeks. "You're safe now," he whispered softly, his voice shaking from the rush. "You're okay." Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, courage, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. It helps stories like this reach more hearts and remind the world that good people still exist. When the police arrived, everything blurred into flashing lights and statements. Adam barely registered it all. He told the officers what he'd seen, how the man had been holding the girl's arm too tight, how something inside him had just known something was wrong. The hotel's security cameras confirmed his story, and within an hour, the attempted abduction was officially foiled. The girl's mother arrived shortly after, breathless, terrified, and sobbing as she hugged her daughter tight. "My baby, oh, my baby," she cried. She turned to Adam, her voice trembling. "You saved her. You saved my whole world." Adam just shook his head, still catching his breath. "Anyone would have done it," he said quietly. But deep down, he knew that wasn't true. He'd seen it in the frozen faces of the crowd. Sometimes, people look away. Sometimes, they hesitate. He couldn't. Not after what he'd been through. Adam's life hadn't been kind lately. After his wife passed away 3 years ago, he was left raising his 6-year-old son, Noah, alone. They lived in a small, one-bedroom apartment near the industrial part of town. He worked long shifts at construction sites, doing whatever it took to keep food on the table. Nights were quiet, often filled with the hum of the old fridge and the sound of Noah's small snores from the couch. That day, Adam had just finished his shift and stopped by the hotel cafe to grab a coffee before heading home. He was supposed to buy Noah a small toy truck on his way. He'd been saving for it all week. But fate had other plans. The story spread faster than wildfire. By evening, videos from bystanders had flooded social media. Brave single dad saves girl from kidnapping outside hotel. News outlets picked it up within hours. Reporters camped near the hotel, eager to talk to the hero dad. But Adam didn't see himself as a hero. He avoided the cameras and went straight home to Noah, who ran into his arms the moment he stepped inside. "Daddy! You're on TV," the boy exclaimed, holding up a tablet with a shaky video of the rescue playing. Adam chuckled weakly, hugging his son tighter. "Guess people saw your old man make a fool of himself, huh?" Noah frowned. "You saved that girl." "That's not foolish, Daddy." And for the first time in a long while, Adam smiled without the weight of exhaustion pulling it down. The next morning, his phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages poured in from strangers, some offering thanks, others offering donations, and a few even offering jobs. But one message stood out. It was from the mother of the girl he'd saved. Her name was Clara Wren, a marketing executive who had been staying at the Grand Meridian for a business conference. Her daughter, Mia, had slipped away from the hotel garden when Clara turned her back to take a call. Clara's message was heartfelt. "I can never repay you for what you did. But I'd like to meet you and thank you properly, maybe over lunch? My treat." Adam hesitated at first, but finally agreed. A few days later, they met at a small cafe near the river. It was daytime, sunlight glittering on the glass windows. Clara looked composed, but her eyes carried a depth of gratitude that words couldn't express. Mia was with her, shyly holding her mother's hand but smiling at Adam when he waved. Over lunch, Clara learned about Adam's life, his late wife, his job, and how he was raising Noah alone. She was deeply moved. "You didn't just save Mia," she said softly. "You saved me, too." "I don't know what I would have done if," her voice cracked, and she stopped mid-sentence. Adam simply nodded. "I understand. I've known loss. It changes you." As the weeks passed, Clara stayed in touch. She'd invite Adam and Noah to join her and Mia at the park, or sometimes for simple lunches. The kids bonded quickly, building sandcastles, sharing snacks, laughing like old friends. And slowly, something began to shift inside Adam, a warmth he hadn't felt since before his wife's passing, yet part of him resisted. He didn't want to believe he deserved happiness again. He was just a working-class dad, hands rough from labor, heart still patched from grief. Clara was polished, successful, from a different world entirely. One afternoon, while they watched their children play in the park, Clara turned to him. "You keep downplaying what you did," she said. "But Adam, you risked your life for a stranger. You can't pretend that's nothing." Adam looked away, eyes on Noah. "When you've lost someone," he said quietly, "you start seeing every scared child as your own." Clara didn't reply. She just reached over and placed her hand over his, a silent thank you, one that said more than words ever could. In months passed, and their friendship grew. Adam found himself smiling more often, laughing with Noah, even taking days off just to spend time with Clara and Mia. But happiness has a way of testing people. One cold morning, he was laid off from his construction job. The company was downsizing. He didn't tell Clara at first. Pride held him back. He spent days searching for work, coming home exhausted and disheartened. He worried about rent, bills, groceries, everything. But one evening, when Clara dropped by unexpectedly with dinner for Noah and him, she noticed the unpaid notices on his counter. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked softly. Adam sighed, embarrassed. "Because I didn't save your daughter expecting anything back." "I don't want you to feel." Adam, she interrupted gently. "Gratitude isn't charity. It's connection. You taught me that the world still has good people. Let me help, just this once." After a pause, he nodded. Not because he wanted help, but because, deep down, he realized that kindness wasn't something to reject. It was something to share. Clara helped him land a job through one of her contacts, a maintenance supervisor role at a local community center. It paid decently and had flexible hours, meaning more time with Noah. Adam was stunned by her generosity, but she only smiled. "You changed our lives," she said. "Maybe it's time someone helped change yours." The new job brought peace, routine, and purpose. Adam often found himself fixing broken benches or repainting the children's play area while Noah and Mia played nearby. Clara would sometimes join them, bringing coffee and laughter. Slowly, they became something like a family. A year after that fateful day outside the hotel, the community center held a small celebration, Local Heroes Day. When Adam's name was called to the stage, he was hesitant, but Noah pushed him forward with a proud grin. As Adam stood under the bright daylight, looking at the small crowd cheering for him, he spotted Clara and Mia smiling in the front row. His heart swelled. He realized then that his act of courage had not only saved a life, it had rebuilt his own. Sometimes, fate brings people together through chaos, only to remind them that kindness can bloom even from pain. Before the ceremony ended, Clara took the stage and surprised everyone by saying, "This man didn't just save my daughter, he saved our faith in humanity." Sometimes heroes wear hard hats, not capes. The applause that followed was thunderous, but Adam didn't hear it all. He was too busy watching Noah's beaming face and the quiet tears in Clara's eyes.